Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? Well, join me this week as my special guest is Viola Buitoni. She is from the Buitoni pasta family, and she's going to share with us some recipes from her latest cookbook and also some cooking tips and some history on the Buitoni family. And also, I just want to tell everybody that I will be at the Upper Southampton Library doing a book signing and cooking class for my holiday book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Holidays and Special Occasions, this coming Saturday, December 2nd at 2 p.m. And I'm not sure if any spaces are still available, but that's Upper Southampton Township Library in Upper Southampton, Pennsylvania. You can give them a call or probably send them an email if you're interested in coming to the class. Hoping that everybody had a delicious and happy Thanksgiving as well. And before we go on to Viola Buitoni's segment, I just wanted to remind everybody that, well, December is coming up, and December is a month of foodie celebrations. There are so many food holidays that take place that not everybody knows about. So December 2nd is World Pear Day, and there's so many different varieties of pears to choose from. Each has its own unique flavor and texture. And pears can also be enjoyed cooked or baked, not just fresh. So, pear, remember that's December 2nd is World Pear Day. December 3rd, National Cookie Day. This day is a chance to really indulge in your favorite cookies. Whether they're store-bought or homemade, there's really endless possibilities when it comes to putting together cookies with different flavors and ingredients. December 4th is National Soccer Torte Day. That is one of my favorite desserts. And if you are interested in finding out about a soccer torte, you can find a recipe for a soccer torte on my blog. It's one of my favorite cakes to make. It's a decadent chocolate cake, but it's a traditional Austrian dessert. It's made with rich chocolate layers, apricot jam, and a chocolate glaze. It is just so delicious and elegant as well. December 5th is National Microwave Oven Day, and December 6th is National Gazpacho Day. That is, if you're not sure what gazpacho is, it's a refreshing soup made with tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, onions, and vinegar. It's a perfect dish for a hot summer day, so not really for December 6th unless you live in another part of the world, but hey, you can have it any time of the year. December 7th is National Cotton Candy Day. December 8th is National Chocolate Brownie Day. And chocolate brownies are made mainly with chocolate, egg, sugar, and flour. And then you can add any other ingredients that you like to the dessert. December 9th is National Pastry Day. It's dedicated to delicious pastries all over the world, from croissants to danishes to turnovers, too many to even think about. December 10th is National Lager Day, which I guess it would be a perfect beer to enjoy on a cold winter day. December 12th is National Gingerbread House Day, which is a perfect day to have as we're getting ready for the Christmas holidays, and many, many people make gingerbread houses. December 14th is National Biscuits and Gravy Day. December 15th is National Persimmon Day. That's one of my favorite fruits. It's a sweet and juicy fruit, and it's really a good source of vitamins and minerals. You can also enjoy that fresh, dried, or cooked. December 18th is National Hamantaschen Day. December 26th is National Candy Cane Day. December 29th is National Pepper Pot Day. It's that is a soup. It's a really hearty soup that's a traditional dish in Philadelphia. It's actually made with tripe, beef, pork, vegetables, and spices, but hey, I'm sure you can make it vegetarian if you want to not use the tripe, the beef, and the pork. December 30th is National Bacon Day, and those are just a few of the many food holidays we have to look forward to that take place in December besides celebrating the Christmas holidays. So get out there and celebrate. And just a reminder, my cooking class December 2nd at the Upper Southampton Library in Upper Southampton. And also, I've been doing many interviews on morning drive radio shows about making holidays stress-free. If you can't find the shows on your favorite radio station, you can just check out my Facebook page. We're putting the audio track on my Facebook page, on the blog for the marialiberatishow.com, and you can listen for those tips on many, many radio shows, or as mentioned, you can find the audio tracks on my blog or Facebook page. And my special guest today is Viola Buitoni, and she's a cooking instructor and a food writer, author of a book. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the book. And she's Italian born. We were just talking about that. So I know she has a lot to share with us that my listeners will be very interested in. Viola, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Maria. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Yes. So you are you're the Buitoni family from the Buitoni Pasta Company, right?
Yes. I am sixth generation of that family.
Oh my goodness. And your book now, can you tell everyone the title of the book?
So the book is called Italy by Ingredient. As I was mentioning, Maria, I have been in the States for many years. I lived in New York for some time, but now I'm in San Francisco. So I'm Bay Area based. I have been cooking. I mean, really, I've been in food my whole life, literally. Yes. And also, I have been in food professionally for over 30 years. I started in restaurants, both back in front of the house. Then I moved to my own catering business. And eventually love brought me to San Francisco, and I had children. And as they were quite small, I didn't want to go back to restaurant or catering work. And so I thought maybe I would try teaching. And that proved to be the best thing I've ever done, because I really love teaching people how to cook. That was almost 15 years ago. And in the last few years, I've also decided it was time for me to write a book. I felt that I had enough knowledge to put out in the world. The book, as I said, it's Italy by Ingredient, artisanal foods, modern recipes. So it is not a specifically regional or traditional way of cooking. It's the way that I cook as someone who was born and raised in Italy and still goes to Italy quite a bit, because I spent still quite a bit of time in Italy, and found herself in an area that is absolutely blessed with agricultural wealth. So I bring my own what I would call the cornerstones of an Italian pantry into the beauty of the agriculture of Northern California.
Oh, that's wonderful. Really wonderful.
Thank you.
So I guess tell us who in your family started the Buitoni company?
That's my husband in the background.
That's okay.
The Buitoni company was started in 1857, and it was started by my great grandparents. The protagonist, really the main person, the main driver, was a woman named Giulia, and the husband was Giovan Battista. They bought a small pasta store, fresh pasta store in a town named San Sepolcro, which is in the Upper Tiber Valley in the province of Arezzo, and very close to the border of Umbria.
Yes.
And eventually, really within the life of Julia and Giovan Battista, the store had already become a rather large producing plant, which was distributing, not only was producing mechanically, but it was also distributing outside of its small area of production, which at the time was rather unusual. Eventually, other places, other plants were opened. One of them was in Perugia, and my great-grandfather was the one designated to run the Perugia plant. So I was actually raised in Perugia.
Wow, very, very interesting. I know I was so impressed because when I began going to Italy, and I ended up living there for quite some time, but when I did, I saw the Buitoni name there. So I didn't realize the company started in Italy, right? And then came to
Yes.
America.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I was always used to seeing Buitoni products here, and then in Italy, I saw so many other things that were there too that I didn't see here, but I was really, really
Yes.
impressed by that.
Yeah.
So, so tell us, Viola, your book, is it a recipe book? Does it have like any memories, family memories, or is it just a recipe book?
It is a book that is divided by ingredients, as the title says, and there
That's
are 12 chapters in the book.
right.
And
Uh-huh.
each chapter is dedicated to one or a group of ingredients that really define the flavors of Italian cooking. The ingredients are, for the most part, pantry ingredients,
Uh-huh.
and they are ingredients that are food crafts made in Italy. So there is traditional balsamic vinegar, there is Parmigiano, bottarga, and there are anchovies, capers, polenta. Each chapter opens with my relationship with the ingredient. So how do I remember the ingredient? When do I remember it in my life? And how I've gotten to know it both as personally with my personal emotion, but also as a food professional. When I
Yes.
started working professionally in food, how did the ingredient expand for me and what did it come to mean? And then also the history of the ingredient, both the geography and its contextualization, as well as good tips on using it, but also how to buy it. How do we spot the markers of quality? Because you go out there in the marketplace and there's like hundreds of different polenta. So how do we know which polenta we should buy for what use, and what tells us that this is a good brand? Is it worth the money or not worth the money? And if you decide that you don't want to spend the money, what might you expect to get?
Huh? Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's so
And then
important. Go ahead. Yes.
recipes, of course. And then yes,
Yes.
there are recipes. Yeah.
So you have your recipes too.
Yes.
So I was going to say it's so important because people don't realize, they think when olive oil is an ingredient, they can just get any olive oil or any polenta or
Yeah.
any tomato. They don't realize that they have to really get a high quality or a good quality product to
Yeah.
make the recipe really shine.
Yes,
So
and
that's
that's
great.
especially true for, as you know, for Italian
Yes.
cooking, because we don't really have that many ingredients in our recipes. And this is one of the observations that people leaf through my book and they look at it and they say, oh my God, I love the fact that your ingredient lists are so short. And so if
Right.
you're doing something that only has like 4 or 5 ingredients, you really can't afford for them to be low quality.
Exactly. That's my sentiments. Exactly. Really important. So do you have any favorite recipe for the holidays, or like what do you usually make for the holidays? We have Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up.
I should say that I am not a huge fan of turkey. So, as you know, Maria, I'm sure most Italians are not huge fans
No,
of
no.
turkey. My sisters in Italy, Turkey, think that turkey is like the worst meat ever. But but I make duck for Thanksgiving,
I
and I make it's not a recipe that's in the book, but I make a very simple duck. I just season it with salt and pepper and
uh-huh.
fill it with lots of different herbs, rosemary, bay leaf, sage, savory, and like a couple of cloves of garlic, half an orange, and then I just let it cook at like 300 degrees for most of the afternoon. It goes on for about 4 or 5 hours. And by the time you get to it, the skin is crispy, the flesh is like butter. And then you have this beautiful carcass that you can use to make a wonderful duck stock.
Oh, yes.
So that's the way that I do my Thanksgiving. Now, in terms of the recipes that are in the book, for the upcoming holidays, one of my favorite is quails that are stuffed with farro, chestnuts, and porcini. It is a fairly easy recipe, but the flavors come together very beautifully. And as you know, chestnuts are out right now. Porcini, because of how the weather has been, the sun, and then all the rain, the porcini are sprouting like it's going out of style.
Yes.
And then of course farro, which is, as you know, an ancient grain. It is kind of like the original gangster grain in Italy. It was found, traces of it were found in Etruscan tomb, so it even predates the Romans. And it does have gluten, though it is a lower gluten content than regular wheat, and it has just a wonderful kind of like wood-like, I mean, in the best of way, not bad wood, but just wonderful aromatic wood and slightly nutty and smoky flavor. And I actually have a whole chapter on it in the book, and that goes from farro pasta made with farro flour, all the way to a cake made with farro flours, and then also salads and the stuffing for the quails. There is a great spring soup with artichokes and spring mushrooms. That is a soup based on one that was made for my brother's wedding in September of, I think it was 1990 or 89, something like that. So you were asking if I have stories and memories of the family in the book, and yes, I do. Very many. Yeah.
Good. Yes, because I know food for all of us, especially Italian families, has very strong connection to our memories.
Yes.
So family memories, especially. That's wonderful. Viola, thank you so much for being here. So where can people find your book or find you? I know you do cooking classes. I know you're in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, but do you have a website?
I do. So my website is my name, violabuitoni.com. And also they can find me anywhere books are available, both online and in many local bookshops. If you can go to your local bookshops, I always encourage people to do that.
Yes.
Even if the book is not available, you can always order it. Yes, so that's where you can find me. And then also you can listen to me rambling on about ingredients on the Maria Liberati show.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And this will be on, for those of you listening to this as a podcast, this will be on the Maria Liberati Show YouTube channel also. So you'll be able to see us both from this episode on the YouTube channel as well. And on the Roku channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Viola, thank you so much for being here. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and much success with your book and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for having me on your show. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you too. Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show and joining us. And thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle, and this week's special guest, Viola Buitoni. And as always, you can find me on Facebook at chefmarialiberati.com. You can find me on Twitter at Maria Liberati, on Instagram at Maria Liberati, on my blog at marialiberati.com, on my Vimeo channel, Maria Liberati, on my YouTube channel, The Maria Liberati Show, where you can actually find video of a lot of my podcasts. So if you want to see us on video instead of just hearing the audio track, go to the Maria Liberati Show channel on YouTube, and you'll get to see many of the podcasts. And also my Roku channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati. And let's see, you can also find my holiday book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Holidays and Special Occasions, the second edition. It's available on Amazon, on Kindle, and really anywhere books are sold, but you can also find it on the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com, or my website, marialiberati.com. And until next time, peace, love, and pasta.